So, 10 weeks to Madeira, and welcome to this special Inspo update, or Inspo segment of some athletes that have been really inspiring me, either in competition or particularly on social media over the last 6 to 9 months, and that I've had a chance to meet and talk a little bit with about athletics, a wee bit about my journey as well, and they've inspired me externally but also in person. So athletics is a sport that, unlike a sport like football, where if you play football at a weekend, you're unlikely to be playing in a club that's produced Olympians, or you're unlikely to encounter in competition or meet one of the top stars. Whereas athletics, that not age range, the kind of proximity is much narrower, and it is more common to maybe be competing against some people that are elite athletes, or maybe even that you're more likely to meet these individuals face to face. It's a bit more intimate as a sport in that way, a bit more community based and volunteer based, and that's something that I've really tried to feed off of. So yeah, information is really important in terms of your journey, and being able to identify people that you can follow in their shoes and see how they've been effective, maybe in some cases even see where you could be in the future. I think it's one of the reasons that many people get into athletics is because of one particular individual, and for me, that individual has always been Eric Liddell. Unfortunately, Eric passed away in his 20s, and having competed in the 20s, that was now many years ago, so I've never had a chance to meet him. But recently I have managed to meet and talk with some athletes that I have found really inspiring. The first of these is Alex Haydock Wilson. So I met him at the airport a few weeks ago, and so he's former British champion in the 400 metres. In Paris last year, he was won a medal in the relays, and he's just got an excellent social media presence. Not that it's good in many ways, but the reason I find it's really inspiring is that he really shares his own personal story, his own struggles. He's been very open about the other side to winning a medal that you don't see in the cameras, issues with mental health, but also his own faith journey, and how he's managed to work in a more balanced and more mindful approach to training, given the intensity of high level competition. Really fascinating Instagram page, really kind of unusual fusion of different things, and he's an artist as well. I mean, he's an engineering PhD, but he's also an artist. It's really clear that he has he's able to craft stories that are theatrical, and that insight into his journey has just given a lot of perspective on the entire athletics industry, really, and in the whole scene. That his journey is probably actually kind of typical. Alex Wilson, again, he's not going to the World Championships. He's not going to be competing in the early hours of tomorrow because this season hasn't gone so well for him. I watched him run in Belgium, a meet there a few weeks back, and been able to see both sides of that. Been able to see him out on the track, or on YouTube, and then talk to him behind the scenes a little bit, and also see his journey just been fantastic. So great shout out to him. Really good online content. The second is Toby Harries. So Toby Harries is actually probably one of the main reasons I've got back into athletics, and I'm doing this journey, and particularly doing the video diary, because he had a kind of video diary as well. And it was 9 months before the Paris Olympics. He said, he came out on Facebook and on Instagram rather, presumably it was on Facebook too, and he said, I'm going to make the qualification for the 4x400 metres relay team. This is where I currently rank in the world. This is what I need to do, and here's how I'm going to do that. And it was really bold, because there's no guarantees in athletics whatsoever. He obviously knew he had that potential. He's obviously run some races that showed that he had the ability to do that. But again, a bold thing to say online and then really have to live up to that. I think it'd be much more common for athletes to maybe play themselves down and then say, oh well, I've just exceeded expectations and I'm so blessed to be here. But maybe they kind of knew that was on the cards, but they didn't want to overpromise and underdeliver. And he did promise and he did deliver on that. And no hard feelings if he'd not done that, or no judgment if he'd not done that. But I think that's a really important thing of the athlete's journey, to say, actually, no, I'm going to back myself. This is where I think I can actually be, and that's something that's been part of my journey as well. And I've really gained that from him. Really good insights into his training and recovery and nutrition and what he's doing, and just the reality of him, who's not got like a big sports contract, of how he's making different things work. And yeah, just about how close he came to retiring, and he's now continuing, and he had run a personal best in like 10 years or something like that. So again, really similar story, really promising as a junior and competed internationally there, and then that's kind of died away. So yeah, Toby Harries, again, I got to meet him trackside in the same meeting in Belgium, and yeah, he was really encouraging about the decathlon journey, and that it was early days and stuff. So yeah, shout out to him. And third guy that I've really benefited from talking to was Cal McIllenan, who's a British decathlete. I think he's ranked in like top 10, top 20 in Britain, but because he's from Scotland, I was competing against him in the Southern Athletics Championships, and then when it was the British Championships, I went up to Birmingham to watch some of it, and I was catching up with him afterwards, and just hearing a bit about how he's made decathlon work while working as well. He's a bit younger than me, but he's post university working, and really quite a vision for if I was to be really, really successful for many years in this sport. That's what I would be doing as well. So yeah, and again, just really appreciate the sort of camaraderie. It's almost like a brotherhood within the decathlon. You get to know the same faces, and you can see what other people are doing and kind of take tips from them and stuff. So yeah, thanks to Cal for giving me a bit of a vision of what to expect, and a bit of a vision of what it looks like to be a national level athlete. So that's some of my inspirations. I'll drop the deets in the comments as per norms, and yeah, these guys will continue to be an ongoing inspiration among others, and I look forward to seeing at least Toby Harries in the World Championships, which is starting soon. So stay tuned to that, because I will be.